Well, there's a lot of people cheering for Monica Seles when she was in the French Open final.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the semifinals of the Acura Classic.
A big supporter of all the California tournaments, and a lot of fans show up to watch her.
Streak. Our next player has won both tournaments she has played so far this summer in her home state of California. She is making her bid to win 3 tournaments in a row. She has consistently held the #2 ranking for 6 months and is less than 500 points behind the #1 spot. She holds 16 career Corel WTA Tour titles and won the gold medal at the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta. Please welcome from Newport Beach, California, Lindsay Davenport.
And Lindsay will have the hometown crowd behind her as well. She's from Newport Beach, just a few miles away from here, and obviously the home cooking of playing in California has really been to her
Acura Classic as the 1997
well, she also went to high school around here,
and has always advanced to the final, where she has captured the title in 1990, 1991, and 1997. She reached her 13th career Grand Slam singles final at this year's Roland Garros, defeating #1 Martina Hingis in the semifinals for the first time in her career. She reached the semifinals in San Diego last week, losing only in 3 sets to fellow American Lindsay Davenport. Please welcome back for her 5th appearance here in Los Angeles, from Bradenton, Florida, Monica Seles.
Monica's had a very tough road back from the stabbing incident that occurred in 1993. She's had to fight injuries. She's had to fight personal problems, and then the passing of her father earlier this year.
From Canterbury, England, Ted Watts.
She certainly has been tested, and so many things you can say about Monica Seles, but her love of tennis brought her back out. After each of those episodes, she could have pretty much packed it in and relaxed and perhaps just watched tennis on TV instead of being a part of it, and she fought her way back. She's probably not in her best shape of her career, but she's working her way back. She's working with Gavin Hopper, who is a fitness guru, and he really has been working her hard, but what has happened is she hasn't had a lot of time to practice week in, week out. She had the passing of her father, and that was right before the French Open, and then recently she actually was on jury duty, so she missed some practice time. So she's had a busy schedule, and you would have to give the advantage to Lindsay Davenport in confidence, match practice, and also in ability, because right now Lindsay Davenport is on the hot streak.
And it's interesting too, because when Monica Seles was in her prime, she was considered the hardest hitter in women's tennis, and that's a mantle now that Davenport is starting to claim.
It really is, and the top American right now is Lindsay Davenport. She's just right behind Martina Hingis in the rankings, and a lot depends on what happens in the first few games and also who brings in the first set. I believe whoever wins the first set will win the match. And both these players have had night matches, so they're used to playing at night. It's a bit cooler, and you have to adjust because you're going from somewhat daylight to all of a sudden playing in the lights and the darkness. So it requires a little bit more concentration. And also, this is a mental battle. Both these players know how good they are. And it comes down to a point here and a point there, and that's it.
Monica Seles, an aging veteran at 24, #6 in the world right now, and really working her way back up to where she wants to be. She hasn't won a tournament this year. Her best result, the finals of the French Open. Is that kind of surprising?
That is surprising, but with the depth in women's tennis right now, it's really tough. I mean, Martina Hingis has had some difficulties as well winning tournaments, and she's #1 in the world. So you really have to look at some of the other things. But what about that prize money? Over $10 million in titles in total equal 41. And that's not a bad record either. 383 wins, 60 losses. And she was one of the most dominant players for a long period, and now she's getting used to, okay, perhaps I'm just going to be getting to the quarter semis, finals, and not winning these tournaments. And that's a tough thing for someone to understand. It's what Steffi Graf is going through right now. She was so dominant over the course of time, and then those injuries happened, and she hasn't come back and done as well as she had earlier in her career.
Well, the amazing thing about Monica Seles in her prime was that she never showed any fear on the tennis court. It didn't matter what the score was or what the situation, she was always going for her shots.
Well, both these players will hit out. They rely a lot on their ground strokes. But with Lindsay plays a lot more doubles, her age, just 22 years of age, and she's already gone up to #2 in the world. She lives close by in Newport and has had a lot of success this year, already $1 million in prize money. She won Tokyo, that was over Martina Hingis in the finals, then won in Stanford and San Diego the last 2 weeks. So she is feeling quite comfortable. She grew up in the hard courts, 16 titles already in her career, and nearly $5 million in prize money.
These two have met 3 previous times. The last time, just last week, in a tough 3-set battle that Davenport was able to pull out.
One advantage Lindsay has is that she is more comfortable coming into net. Monica needs to have the perfect opportunity to come in. She'll follow a short ball and perhaps have an easy put away, whereas Lindsay doesn't necessarily have to do that. Lindsay getting it by the first round and easily won her round of 16 in quarterfinals. She played Natasha Zareva, who had quite a run at Wimbledon this year. Natasha was seeded 8, and Lindsay plays doubles with her, lost in the Wimbledon doubles final when she played with Zareva.
Seles also has yet to drop a set in the tournament. Straight sets over Barbara Paulus, and then the 5th seed, Natalie Toziai, 6-4, 6-4. Toziai a bit of surprise this year as well. Her Wimbledon showing.
Good look at their head-to-head. Seles does lead it 2-1, but the last meeting, 3 tough sets in San Diego, and that was in the semifinals. Lindsay won the first set 6-4, lost the second, and came back strong in the third, 7-5. And what a weapon Lindsay has in her serve. You can see her practicing both directions. She does have the ability. A lot of times you see a women tennis player and they just have a strength in one direction with their serve, but Lindsay can hit all different places. She can serve into the body, out wide, or down the middle.
I think that's also one of the areas that Monica Seles has been striving to improve. With that lefty serve, especially out in the ad court, she can really swing her opponents wide, but she hasn't been using it that much. I think that's one area that if she really develops that wide slice, it can really open up the court for those 2-fisted ground strokes. Players taking their last warm-up serves.
The crowd bustling about, excited about this opportunity. This could be a Grand Slam final we're looking at right here. Competition will be so fierce.
One of their 3-set matches was in the final here last year, where Seles took care of Davenport, losing the first set and then coming back to take the next 2. Again, they have not played a straight set match, these two. They both hit the ball so hard and are so aggressive that it's just one shot or 1 point that can make a difference.
Well, what Lindsay is doing a lot better than she did last year is when she wins the first set, she's not having a letdown, because a lot of times it's like, oh wow, I won the first set against Steffi Graf or Martina Hingis or Monica Seles. Now she believes she can beat these players and on a consistent basis.
And that's such a big factor. When you believe you can do it, it really makes a difference. Seles will serve to open the match. And Davenport takes the first point.
Seles will continually try to do that, hit behind Lindsay. As well as Lindsay's moving, if you get her going in one direction, it's more difficult for her to stop and change and get back to the other side of the court.
They are just crushing the ball. It's amazing to be able to come out and start hitting the ball that hard 2-3 points into the match. But that's that slice serve that Seles has been working on out to the 2-hander of Davenport.
Lindsay gives an extra look at the serve. Called good. And so far, quick points. Lindsay has such a strong return. She gets her racket on the ball and then return. Look out.
That's probably the strongest part of her game, and a part that a lot of players really fear when they play her. Another big return gets Davenport her first break point.
Seles rushing things.
Big first serve from Seles up the middle that time. She set that up with those wide serves out to the backhand.
Advantage Seles.
Monica Seles can be so deceptive with her ground strokes. She can go down the line or cross court with ease.
And she takes the ball so early that it gives her opponents very little time to read the direction of the shot.
What a return.
We're at deuce for the third time in the opening game.
Here it is. And the concentration, she's waiting for that second serve.
Advantage Seles.
Monica Seles has taken a page from Steffi Graf's book. She's wasting no time at all.
Deuce.
First double fault of the match for Seles. A lot of that's caused by the big returns from Davenport. It puts an awful lot of pressure on the second serve.
Advantage Davenport.
And a second break point for Davenport.
Well, this will make it difficult for Seles because she knows coming out in the first game she's already struggling, facing quite a few break points. Comes up with a big ace. Perfect timing for it. She's racing back to serve the next point.
Davenport drilled the baseline with that return and has her third break point.
The rallies are quick, and Lindsay, again, you can see the mobility. She's really worked on that. There's nothing you can do there. I don't think Steffi Graf, with her speed, would have gotten that particular shot.
This first game has already gone 6 deuces. Both players showing their power.
Advantage Davenport.
Too much power from the Davenport ground stroke.
And it brings her her 4th break point. You just can't afford to hit the ball short to either one of these women. They will crush it.
Deuce.
And deuce for the 7th time.
Advantage Seles.
Seles's back was bothering her a bit last week at the tournament. I talked to her a couple days ago and she said it was holding up pretty well. Seles reaching out with the one-hander. She does have the ability to stretch out more and get to more balls, hitting it one-handed. Both sides are struck with both. And Lindsay, again, she's not going to make a mistake on a short ball like that.
8th deuce of this opening game.
Advantage Davenport.
And the second double fault from Seles brings the 5th break chance for Davenport in the opening game.
Big serve out wide.
Deuce.
Lindsay will have to capitalize on, she gets another break point chance, because to get 5 in one game, 5 in one set is a huge deal, and 5 in one game.
Advantage Seles.
And the second ace from Seles gives her game point once again. Playing the 24th point of this match, and it's still the opening game.
Deuce.
I think we've heard that score before. 10 deuces now.
Advantage Seles.
Looked wide, called good. Lindsay took a second glance. She doesn't like the call. You won't see Lindsay questioning that many calls. She's one of those exceptional players where the way she handles herself on court is really impressive. I would have been all over that lines person.
Seles. First
So
game.
at 26 points played, Monica Seles takes the opening game.
Why would 10 apparently sensible, healthy young men accept a challenge most of us would consider really stupid? They could
6. But she's hit 4 unforced errors, and then Davenport even 2 apiece.
Well, it's interesting because Seles is doing something that she didn't used to have to do when she was in her prime, and that is she has to take risks. She actually has to go for more than she's comfortable for, and that causes some of the errors. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that these younger players coming up have seen players like Seles and seen the power, and now she has to deal with power that wasn't there when she was in her best.
And also, players don't fear her as much. Monica Seles, when you used to see her in your section of the draw, players would be, oh great,
Lindsay
book your
Davenport
flight.
to
And
serve.
now
Seats,
it's not
please,
quite the
quiet,
same
please.
thing. These players come in with a lot more belief in themselves.
Well, 15. Well, 13.
2 forehand errors from Davenport, and Seles has a love 30 lead.
What a return from Seles. Her intensity, I believe, is unmatched. I mean, no one else goes out after every point and has that kind of determination and that look in her eyes for every shot.
She's tenacious. Now Monica Seles has 2 break opportunities after saving 5 on her own serve in the opening game. And she gets to look at a second serve. There it goes. 2-love Seles.
You can see how pivotal that first game was. Seles has just taken control and attacked that return. She will not let anything short get away. And she manages to get so much power. It's important for Lindsay not to get too frustrated. It's an early break.
Seles is showing a tremendous amount of confidence, really going for her shots, especially that serve.
Narrowly misses. Again, Seles, good preparation, stays low, and just cut it too close.
Foot fault called. And from 30 love, it's back to 30 all.
Perhaps this can be an opening for Lindsay. Went for too much on the forehand side, and this is where Lindsay can't get too desperate. She has to really wait for the right opportunities, but playing someone like Seles, it's really tough to judge when those opportunities are, because Seles will go after every single ball.
Yeah, you can't afford to be patient against somebody who's crushing every shot.
Deuce.
Another double fault from Seles, her third of the match.
Goes in Seles' favor. Davenport took a step in, realizes there's no chance. Doesn't make the attempt, and now a point to go up 3 games to love for Seles. Another double fault. Unusual for Seles. She's going for more on her serve, but normally she doesn't hit this many double faults.
Again, it's the big return from Davenport. She figures she better get that serve in deep with pace, or it's just as good as giving the point away. That's the kind of pressure that Davenport puts on you with her returns.
When Seles first came on the circuit, no one could believe that someone could hit the ball that hard and it would actually go in. And now a lot of players are able to do the same thing. They've learned from what she's brought to the circuit.
Game, Seles. Seles leads.
So Monica Seles holds for a 3-love lead in the opening set of the semifinals of the Acura Classic.
Attention, David Geisinger of Manhattan Beach.
Zareva beat Seles at Wimbledon, and that was one of the few matches that Seles actually said, I have no idea what happened. I'm still trying to figure out what happened in that match. She could explain more the loss to Sanchez Vicario at the finals of the French Open, but Wimbledon, she was still a bit confused.
Well, one of the things that Natasha did in that match was she changed pace so well. She changed spin. And Seles loves power. That's why this matchup is so interesting, because both players are playing to the strengths of the other.
Well, you can get away with it a lot more on the grass court surface to hit the slices and the off-pace shots, but here on a hard court, a lot of times they'll sit up and actually give more of an advantage to a power player. But someone else who used to do that very well, who I miss playing, is Gabriella Sabatini. She was just amazing to watch, so graceful on a tennis court. No one has come around like her since.
Yeah, she had more spins than any other player and could change them up at will.
Lindsay Davenport really hurting with that 40% first serve percentage. See if she can improve on that.
And Seles way up over 70%, and that's crucial with players who return serve so well.
Second serve ace. Because Lindsay's so tall, she's able to hit that angle out wide. She uses that serve out wide to her advantage quite frequently.
Oh, they could probably hit the ball a little harder, don't you think?
Brilliant play from both players. That time Lindsay didn't have to move quite as much as Seles. So much about this game is about how well you can move and get in the right position.
14.
So Davenport, who was broken in her opening service game, is up 40-love, looking to get on the board in the first set.
Thank you. Game Davenport.
Lindsay, one of the few players who actually
Seles
holds
leads
both
3
tennis
games to
balls
1.
for first and second serve. Now she's serving. And she holds easily. That's what she's accustomed to. Gets on the scoreboard. Oh, right on the line, Seles.
15 left.
Making sure there's no chance for Davenport to get over there. And again, good positioning, stays low to the ball, and such strength in her arms. Flicks right over it.
And Davenport gets a lucky lead cord.
It will be interesting to see how Lindsay does fare in this match if it is a long match. Physically, I think she can hold up, but emotionally, she's had a long summer. In fact, she pulled out a Fed Cup a few weeks ago because she was just too exhausted from the schedule. When you start doing well and you're in the tournaments on the Friday, Saturday, Sundays in singles and doubles, it does take its toll.
Two break points for Davenport to get right back on serve.
Game Davenport.
So we're on serve in the
Seles
first set.
leads 3 games to
Seles 3-2.
Both these players are similar in nature. They're such gracious champions. In many situations, they'll win a tournament and applaud their opponents constantly, but also when they lose, they give just as much of a reward. You'll never see them complain about it was their fault that they lost. They always applaud their opponent, which is nice to see.
It also, I think, helps them mentally and emotionally when they lose matches, because they go out there and say, I got beat. You know, it's not like the wind was blowing or the sun was in my eyes or whatever other types of excuses you can come up with. They just go, I got beaten by a better player today. Now let's see what I can do tomorrow.
Right, and they move on from it. And both these players have done tremendous amount of work just getting their fitness in order. I remember when Lindsay came in on the circuit, she did so well with her serve and her ground strokes, but she didn't really have the movement. A lot of times players would drop shot her. Zareva tried to drop shot her consistently in her last match, and Lindsay can get to those balls now. She has the confidence, and she's worked so hard off court. In fact, her coach put weights on her last year and said, okay, this is what it's like if you're heavier. Now, what do you think? Do you want to have this on you or not? And really put her to the test. And you have to applaud her efforts there.
15 love.
Because it made the difference between her being a top 20 player, top 10 player to someone that's #2 in the world.
Yeah, I still think of her as the Rodney Dangerfield of women's tennis. She doesn't get a lot of respect outside of the players.
30 love.
The press, the media has a tendency to overlook her in the big tournaments, but I don't think the players do anymore.
No, not at all. And she's looking for that Grand Slam. It's getting closer every time.
The 1996 Olympic gold medal, I think, helped her emotionally and mentally, and kind of alerted the press to the fact that she was a world-class player.
Well, the Olympics are something that you can tell your kids about years to come, and that was something that really did take her to the next level.
And a love service game for Davenport. It's 3-all.
3 games all.
Well, this is starting to look like our first semifinal from today. 3 love to Seles. Now 3-all.
What a serve from Seles. She probably would have broken the clock if they had one. It goes right up after it, the advantage of the lefty serve. Lindsay opened up on this forehand. Didn't quite get her leg over. Knows she had a chance. Great depth. Lindsay's one of those players where she's just refreshing to see. She enjoys the game. She plays it so well. Good personality on court. Uncharacteristic of Seles. Went for too much. What a shot.
Break point for Davenport.
30-40.
To be able to hit a winner from this place in the court is not an easy thing to do, and it's just because she has that much power.
1 point away from 4 straight games as it was with Davenport. But Seles comes up with the wide serve once again and takes it to deuce. She's really using that wide serve well today.
Advantage Seles.
Net court going in Seles' advantage. It popped up perfectly for her.
Really short backswing and just drives through the ball. She gets every ounce of weight and energy into each shot.
Deuce.
Again, overhitting a little bit.
Advantage Seles.
Another big serve from Seles. 3 games all, first set.
Game, Seles.
So Seles takes a 4-3 lead in the opening set.
Seles leads 4 games to 3.
Very determined to get back to the #1 ranking in the world, and she knows in order to do that she has to be more consistent on the tour. She can't just get to the semis. She has to beat the top players and beat them consistently.
That's a tough task. With the type of talent that's out at women's tennis right now, with Venus Williams and Martina Hingis and Anna Kournikova and all the young players coming up.
15 love.
That second serve was probably one of the fastest serves that women's tennis saw maybe 3 years ago. And that's how much tennis has improved in the women's game.
Another winner from Davenport. Is there anyone in tennis who hits the ball harder than these two?
Mary Pierce hits the ball hard, but not with such consistency and such accuracy. I mean, anyone can hit the ball hard. It's can you hit it hard and in? And these two players seem to do it better than anyone else in the game.
Game, Davenport.
Davenport holds at love for the 3rd straight time. And we're at 4-all in the first set. Lindsay seems to have found her rhythm on serve after losing serve in her opening game.
This is a crucial stage of the match. And Lindsay does not want to throw in a lot of unforced errors. That time she just gave away a free point to Seles. Didn't make her work hard.
30.
Once again, that wide serve out to the backhand seems to be giving Davenport trouble.
That's just so impressive. Quick read from Davenport, gets over to the forehand side in time and able to whip the forehand cross court.
30.
4-all, 30-all. Women's semifinal, the Acura Classic.
14-30.
And the 4th ace from Monica Seles. Her serve really is becoming a weapon for her.
And it helps tremendously because it used to be she'd have to hit a ground stroke winner to win the point. And now she can go up there, win the point in one shot, and put some fear in her opponents.
Deuce.
That hurts. You hit an ace to get a point to go up 5 games to 4, and then she throws in a double fault.
Her 5th of the match.
And on is Davenport.
And another break opportunity for Lindsay Davenport. She's had break points in every one of Seles' serve games except for one.
So she could have gone and won the first set 6 games to love. She would have just held and used those break points. Instead, it's 4 games all.
Game, Davenport.
And Davenport does break. She'll be serving for the first set
Davenport leads
at
5 games to 4.
Centinela Hospital has long been
Balls in.
It's really been a baseline battle so far. And what a difference when you see someone like Martina Hingis. She takes the pace off of it. She doesn't really hit with extreme power, but she just has such tremendous court sense that she always knows what to do with the ball, and she can take someone who hits this hard and changes their pattern and makes them change their strategy, and all of a sudden she wins the match. So it just depends on who your opponent is. In this situation, both players hit so hard and they're comfortable hitting hard. No one has really dictated anything with coming into net or hitting underspin or throwing in drop shots.
Well, sometimes it's hard to get in when your opponent's hitting the ball that hard and that deep. There hasn't been too many opportunities for either player to really take charge. But they both love pace, so they're just getting out there and wailing on the ball. But it has been Monica Seles who's struggled most on serve. She fought off 5 break points in her opening service game. She held after 2 deuces in her next game. She was broken as Davenport got back on serve. And then she's had break points against her in her last 2 service games. So she's been the one who's had to struggle and had to work.
Nerves have not come into play yet, with Davenport serving 5 games to 4. See if she has any problems. Now, court's in darkness. They'll be relying on the lights. Davenport serving with new tennis balls. That should help her out.
And that's a deadly 1-2 combination with the wide serve, gets the short ball, and then she just pounds it.
Smart serve. That time Lindsay took something off of it. Really wanted to make sure she had a first serve chance. Didn't want to give Seles a look at a second serve.
Since dropping her opening service game, Davenport's won 14 straight service points.
Second serve ace. Talk about confidence to be able to hit that kind of serve. And 5 games to 4 in the first set.
And it gives her 3 set points.
Incredible shot. How Seles got that angle, and that's actually what she's been known to do. She just gets over there, knows exactly where she wants to hit it, and turns her shoulders and, okay, winner. Seles inching closer.
2 set points gone. But a third one comes up now for Davenport.
Davenport, the local hero, but Seles winning the crowd support, just being the sentimental favorite. Golden chance now for Seles, second serve. It looked like a miss hit on the serve. Lindsay let up on it and wanted to try to get extra topspin, and Seles knew she had the chance. There it is. She just falls backward, didn't have good balance, fell to her side, and she has to realize what just slipped away, the first set.
So from 3-love down, Lindsay Davenport takes the opening set 6-4 in 36 minutes. And the pressure shifts directly to Monica Seles.
If I were Lindsay, I'd really concentrate on putting it to Seles in this game, because she won the first set. Everything's going her way. She's been holding easily. If she could squeeze in a break, who knows? Doesn't look like she's going to get that break in this game. Seles with the change of pace. Uses the delicate drop shot to her advantage. Looks like she's ready to go and hit it hard. Comes under it, and no return.
And she finishes it off with an ace. Seles takes the opening game of the second set.
And what crowd support. It has to be a little disturbing being the local favorite and having everyone applaud when you lose a game. And look at the crowd there, sold out.
And to sponsor
The Acura
Classic
event.
Enjoy the good life with
Well, the winner here will have a chance to face world number 1 Martina Hingis in the final. And let's take a look at the numbers from that opening set. Seles serving 75%, 4 aces and 5 double faults. More winners and more errors than Davenport. But you look at Davenport, she had all those break opportunities, and you know, it was the unforced errors from Seles that really cost her.
That was a big difference, and also the double faults. Lindsay has had 0 to Seles' 5, and they didn't come at good times for Seles, but those unforced errors, she never used to make those. She used to go for her shots, and very rarely would she make a mistake. But because Lindsay has been playing so well, they played last week, and she knows how tough Lindsay is. She's been going for a little bit extra, and because of that, it's hurt her chances. She's had the unforced errors much higher than she would want.
She used to average about 5 a set, 5 errors a set, hitting the ball as hard as she did, and 20 in the opening set so far for Monica Seles.
15.
Great serve that one out wide. And this is where you hope Lindsay isn't thinking in her mind, oh no, I've gone 3 sets consistently with Seles. Please don't let it happen again. She should probably try to take it 1 point at a time.
14.
Davenport dominating on her serve once again.
How about that for a service game? You see someone like Pete Sampras do that, but Lindsay comes in and hits 4 big serves.
She's now held serve 4 times at love.
Below 50.
Was wide. After that service game, Lindsay was holding her forearm, and she's kind of moving her arm around. I think she's played so much tennis this summer. I mean, this is her 3rd tournament in a row. She's won the last 2. And she's in the semis here. U.S. Open coming up in just a few weeks.
And that is the tough part. I mean, really, you know, these players are aiming and gearing for the U.S. Open, the biggest hardcourt event of the year.
Below 30.
Again, another double fault. And that's a tournament where if Lindsay would win a Grand Slam, you would think it would be on that surface first. She grew up on hard courts. She plays so well on them. She loves playing in the U.S.
Below 40.
And Seles in a desperate situation now. Down a set, down 3 break points.
She hasn't won a point in the last 2 games, this service game and Lindsay's. Lindsay just raising the level of her game, and that's been the difference. Seles couldn't do anything in the last service game from Davenport, but Davenport playing with that confidence and just has a stronger ground strokes.
Whether you're playing tennis or...
For the first time on national television, the biggest names in rugby league come together for the It'll bake the Big Apple. The U.S. Open starts Tuesday, September 1st, live on Fox Sports.
One of the things that has always been a trademark of Monica Seles is those sharp angle ground strokes. And because of the depth from Davenport, Seles doesn't have the opportunity to step in and use the angles. And that's what she really wants to do, because she wants to make Lindsay move. And if it's just a battle of power from the baseline, then Davenport's going to have a chance to set up and step in. And when she does, well, she's been the hottest player in tennis.
That's a winner, right on the line. But she hasn't had a look at too many second serves. And she knows that this is a crucial game to her. Even that one, she seemed to mishit it and wasn't too pleased, but she'll take the point.
Well, in these kind of rallies, you know, the shortest ball she's going to see is going to be the serve. And she took advantage of it again there.
She loves that backhand cross court. Lindsay has been in this situation before, and she's battled out of it. This is really a pivotal game.
That's just got to be so depressing. You hit a good return, back fairly deep, and the ball's just gone. And Davenport just driving through that forehand.
Good playing by Seles. She elected to hit the first couple ground strokes just right down the middle, waited for the right opportunity. Serve out wide. Because of Davenport's height, she's able to get around that ball and hit it out wide. And when you play it with two hands on both sides, you are at a disadvantage. You can't quite reach as many balls.
One more break point for Seles. Try to get back on serve here in the second set. She hasn't broken Davenport since the second game of the match.
Juice.
And that backhand sails long. Where do you try to hit the ball to Lindsay Davenport? Is there a safe place on the court?
Short with some underspin. You have to change up the pace. If you don't, she's just going to take advantage. I mean, there's a couple things you can do with Lindsay if you have the chance, and that's to move her side to side, where Seles has not had that opportunity to do it on a frequent basis. And the other thing is draw her in. Make her move, make her run. Even if you lose the point, get her moving around the court.
Game point for Davenport.
Davenport.
And she holds for 3-1.
Well, it really is a tribute to how well Davenport's playing, because she's not giving a lot of chances to Seles. Seles is an opportunist. When there is a chance for her to make her move, she will take it, and she just hasn't had a lot of those chances. Except for in the first set when she went up 3-0. That's where she shouldn't have let Lindsay get back in. Oh, that's just too good. I played once with Lindsay, and this was a few years ago when she was just coming on the circuit, and I couldn't believe her reach. Because a lot of people think, oh, she's just so tall, but when she puts her racket out, she gets to a lot of balls. And that's without moving. So you can imagine when she moves for a ball, the amount of shots she can get back. Smart play. A lot of times when someone hits angles, the best shot is to hit it right in their body. Seles couldn't use the angle to work off of, made the error, and now in trouble.
Seles has lost 6 straight service points. And a second serve for Davenport. Great depth there from Seles. But she's got to hit it so deep and so close to the line in order to get control of the rallies. That's one of the reasons that she's making more mistakes.
Good serve. That keeps her in. Just missing, goes past the baseline.
She again went for a little bit too much, and Davenport has another break point for a 4-1 lead. And again, a second serve coming up.
They've been on court for 48 minutes.
Game, Davenport.
And the 7th double fault for Monica Seles gives Lindsay Davenport a 4-1 lead.
No, it's a point here and there that really makes a difference. I mean, you look at the score and you, oh, Lindsay's winning handily, but it hasn't been the case at all. She's had to fight for every point. But there it is, the tail of the match. Seles with 29 unforced errors, and Davenport at 12.
Yeah, and that's the amazing thing, because as hard as Davenport hits the ball, she really is consistent and even, like you say, in her comfort zone with that kind of pace. And the pace of the match is such that it's really taken it away from Seles.
Well, she's had one big advantage. She's won a lot of service games at Love or at 45, and it's helped because she has that big serve. But on other occasions, Monica Seles has gone for too much. When she's had the opportunity, like in that last service game, she went for too much. She didn't have the right chances. The other players have been practicing and playing matches. She's almost playing catch-up. And because of that, she's going for too much, and the unforced errors creep in.
But you can't ever count her out. She will not quit.
No, this is where Lindsay's saying, okay, don't even consider to loosen up or let up or anything. She needs to try to win this service game as well as she's done the other ones. Seles anticipated right, had it. But again, the power from Davenport really makes a big difference.
Fifth ace for Davenport. Everything seems to be working for her tonight. And she makes it look easy.
She really does. I mean, she's one of those players where you can watch and say, oh, I'm going to play like that. And you can't because it's only an ability that Lindsay can muster up. Great return from Seles. And how far in the court was she? She hasn't had many chances to do that. To come in a few feet, take the ball on the rise, go after it, punch it down the line. And now she's saying, finally. And that only brings her to 30 all. Well, that's the footwork that Davenport's been working on. In years past, she wouldn't have been able to get in position in time, and instead, she's in position and hits a winner. That's why she's number 2 in the world.
Game point for a 5-1 lead.
Game,
She's got it.
Davenport leads 5 games to 1.
Impressive second set from Lindsay Davenport. Just last week, they went 3 sets.
There's the angle from Seles. In their short history of 3 matches played, they've never gone straight sets. So this would be kind of an upset.
Foot fault called. And this match has only gone 52 minutes. Extraordinary.
15 all.
Big return again from Davenport.
(15-30).
Another unforced error from Seles, and now she's just 2 points away from being out of here.
It's match point for Davenport, and she really should get the respect that's deserved because she's made Monica Seles not play her best match.
Monica says it's not over yet.
30-40.
I wonder if Monica Seles has lost a match under an hour. We should find that out in 30 seconds or less. I haven't seen her lose a match under an hour, that's for sure. And perhaps she can draw it out. 2 match points, fade away. Seles, being the champion that she is, brings it to deuce.
And they faded away with 2 powerful forehands from Monica. And now Davenport has a look at a second serve.
Advantage Davenport.
And another double fault from Seles gives Davenport her 3rd match point.
And again, Seles rushing. She should be the one slowing things down just to regain her composure.
Use.
3 match points, 3 match points saved.
Advantage Seles.
Nerves took over that point from Davenport. It wasn't an exceptional serve.
Deuce.
Well, there's 2 things that have happened to Seles in this match. One, the unforced errors are just uncharacteristically high, and also her serve hasn't been the best. Perhaps it's been consistent, but she's hit a lot of double faults in the same manner. So it's just the timing of those double faults that have hurt her. 8 double faults. Whereas Davenport's been solid on all areas.
3rd foot fault called against Seles. And it's interesting because she doesn't really move her feet that much on her serve. She must just be starting right on the line. Well, Monica Seles says you're going to need more than 3 match points to beat me. She holds serve. Davenport will serve for the match at 5-2.
Seles looking perplexed, as if, okay, and I'm losing this match. She came away in that game quite well, but now the real challenge is in store because Davenport has just served exceptionally well, and she's played with the confidence that champions play with. You see that in someone like a Pete Sampras when he's playing the U.S. Open. He just goes out there and he knows, okay, I can take it to you, and that's what Lindsay has shown. It's been quite remarkable to see that in her, the changes over the past few years. And the same thing for Seles. There's been changes, but it hasn't been in the positive direction.
Well, for Davenport, you know, one of the things that players used to say was, you know, if she could just believe how good she is, she really would be a better player. And I think she's starting to believe in herself now.
Well, Billie Jean King helped her at the Olympics when she won the gold medal, and that really was quite a success for her. She wasn't seeded to win the tournament. She beat a lot of seeds on the way. It was such a major accomplishment for her. And she's such a remarkable young lady. I mean, it was great to see her come away, especially when the Olympics were in the United States. So here she is, serving for the match for a place in the finals against Martina Hingis.
That's just unstoppable.
15-love.
Lindsay getting the last shot there, and Seles, you would think the last shot she hit could have been a winner. But Lindsay, with her improved footwork and her great reach, gets to it.
And when she gets to it, you're in trouble.
Seles again playing into Davenport's strength, just whacking the ball, not moving Lindsay, just hitting it as hard as she possibly can. What a shot. Those are the ones she loves. short second serves, capitalizes on it, and one of her favorite shots, uses her strength.
Thank you.
Davenport still just 2 points away.
Nervous serve. Her feet just froze on that forehand. She did well to get the second serve in, and that time she's sitting here going, wait a minute, I'm up 5-2, I was up 5-1, I could close this out in straight sets. It's never happened before. Oh! And what luck for Davenport. Seles had herself in the right position, hits the top of the tape.
And now the 4th match point for Davenport. She had 3 on Seles' serve. And she does it.
6-4, 6-2.
So it's the world #1 and the world #2 in tomorrow's final as Lindsay Davenport dismisses Monica Seles 6-4, 6-2, and she was impressive.
She was, and she showed why she's the #2 ranked player in the world. She got off to a slow start, went down 3 games to love, but came back strong, and she should be impressed with that performance herself.
And we've had a fun day today here in Southern California. So for Andrea Yeager, this is Leo Levin saying please join us again tomorrow for the final of the Acura Classic.